The southern part of Vietnam is famous for its rich natural resources and its diverse ecosystems. However, it also suffers from frequent natural disasters. These facts remind us of a well-known verse. My country has salty water and sour fields, half a year of drought and half a flood. Vietnam achieved tremendous agricultural productivity based on a combination of irrigation system, agricultural solutions, and the hard work of local people. In a short time, Vietnam has progressed from being a net importer of food to one of the major rice exporting countries in the world. When the south of Vietnam was completely independent, the first irrigation team was established to support socio-economic development there. At its foundation in 1978 to 1982, the Sub-Institute of Southern Water Resources Research focused mainly on surveying and collecting baseline data, proposing long-term and short-term research projects. From 1983 to 1990, SIWRR strengthened its resources and capacities to become a full ministry institute. It also conducted a lot of important research assigned by MART and performed hydraulic experiments that aid in the design of key irrigation works in the southern region. During 1991 to 2007, SIWRR implemented many projects of basics, forecast, and application research to further develop irrigation systems. SIWRR has adapted to meet the needs of each new generation. Researchers at SIWRR have always worked hard for the development in the future. Currently, computational tools developed and used by SIWRR are constantly being upgraded and improved to aid research topics including forecasting water sources, spreading water pollution, saltwater intrusion, forecasting landslides, river morphology, inventorying and predicting water sources, dynamic water balance for drought regions, calculating and predicting the impacts of storm, climate change, sea level rise, land subsidence, sand mining. In addition, many hydraulics experiments, structural solutions, and advanced engineering plans have been applied. Mother Nature brings not only favor to Mekong Delta but also challenges. Climate change, sea level rise, upstream development, and land subsidence are visibly increasing, and their impacts include a lack of water, saltwater intrusion, unbalancing sediment, landslides, flooding, and so on. These impacts increasingly makes the southern regions more vulnerable. With proven tools and solutions, the following are some of the outstanding results of SIWRR. Saltwater intrusion has always brought challenges to agricultural production in the Mekong Delta. SIWRR has installed a system of saltwater monitoring stations with automated technologies to get information about the operations of sluice gates and stations that are designed to prevent saltwater intrusion. Forecasting saltwater intrusion in the dry seasons and floods in the rainy seasons are very important for the Mekong Delta. SIWRR have prepared key technical documents for MART, Department of Crop Production and Localities, making crop production plans. In addition, these documents also support the Directorate of Water Resources Vietnam Disaster Management Authority and localities making plans to respond to and prevent natural disasters.
We are now forecasting water resources, which is more conventional forecast, while forecasting natural disaster is quickly forecast or extreme forecast that we must do in the future.
Besides forecasting water resources, SIWRR also has a track record in mitigating river and coastal erosion. Erosion affects the life of local people along the river and coastal zones. Indeed, river and coastal erosion is one of the key issues addressed in the Prime Minister Resolution number 120 on socio-economic development and climate change adaptation in the Mekong Delta. A series of serious erosion events occurred in 2017 and early 2018, which directly threatened the safety of many residential areas, river and coastal infrastructure, especially in An Giang, Đồng Tháp, Cà Mau and Bạc Liêu provinces. Facing these critical situations, SIWRR immediately researched and clarified the causes and proposed urgent solutions to cope with landslides. These effective solutions were highly appreciated by local governments.
When an erosion occurs, Southern Institute of Water Resources Research shall present, make a survey, and propose a feasible plan to solve the problem on the demand of the city government official. They also offer solutions such as repressing the initial plastics, embankment, and precast concrete divestment with a science and technology application to solve the specific things. I think that the Southern Institute of Water Resources Research has made a very positive contribution to the province of Bạc Liêu recently.
The long-term and systematic research results of SIWRR provide a scientific basis and technical solutions for river draining and bank protection works in important areas in the Mekong Delta and Saigon-Đồng Nai River Basin. Typical projects of SIWRR include an investigation of river morphology of the Saigon-Đồng Nai River, protections of the Sa Đéc River embankment in Đồng Tháp Province, the Long Toàn River embankment in Trà Vinh Province, the Gành Hào Sea embankment in Bạc Liêu Province, and the Cổ Chiên River embankment in Vĩnh Long Province. SIWRR has also helped develop erosion forecasts for the Cửu Long River, Saigon River, and Mương Chuối, etc. These works have contributed to limiting the losses of people and property caused by river and coastal erosion.
Our institute was assigned with a member of task river engineering, especially the Mekong system.
After reunification of the South, millions of hectares of the Mekong Delta were seriously affected by aluminum contamination, which prevent these areas being used for agriculture. SIWRR researchers have been finding solutions for the reductions of aluminum contaminations and salt, promoting the recovery of uncultivated fields. Thanks to many practical solutions for reclaiming acid sulfate soil areas proposed by SIWRR, Đồng Tháp 10 has once again become the fertile areas with high agricultural productivity.
Southern Institute of Water Resources Research also cooperates with international scientists in the study of effect changing the flow of silt content to advise the Ministry of Agriculture and rural development, the government and the local government on the overall solution.
Recently, SIWR has been a key participant in the Mekong Delta Integrated Climate Resilience and Sustainable Livelihood Project (ICRSL), funded by World Bank. This project is a part of the main component of adapting to climate change and improving livelihood in flood seasons for local people in the upstream part of the Mekong Delta. The project supports farmers to adapt and transfer from 3 to 2 rice crops per year with aquacultural activities in order to ensure sustainable livelihoods without affecting downstream areas. Agricultural production activities are dependent on flood and natural conditions. Research on river flows in the Mekong Delta, which are conducted by SIWR, support the government and local governments to develop measures and strategies to actively adapt and mitigate risks and damages in the future. Urban flooding in Ho Chi Minh City is becoming more serious recently. Facing this situation, SIWRR is the key unit of the irrigation plan for preventing urban flooding for Ho Chi Minh City, chaired by Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. One of the important solutions is to construct a large-scale tide prevention sluice system with 6 sluices located in critical positions of the Saigon River system. Participation in the research and design of these key flood-resistant projects has demonstrated SIWRR's role in solving urgent issues in Ho Chi Minh City.
Our task is to solve the flooding problem of the city, which is one of the 7 issues.
Because of its special topographic characteristics and climate change impacts, the southern central provinces always stays dry. SIWRR has conducted many research activities to propose more effective irrigation solutions and technologies. For example, rain sprinkler technology for dragon trees and light rain irrigation at the roots of grape trees. SIWRR had transferred high-effective drip irrigation technology to local people in the South Central region of Vietnam for planting asparagus, which helped to recover uncultivated areas.
Without applying advanced technology to agriculture production, we cannot develop family economy on this sandy soil. Thanks to application of the transfer technologies, this drip irrigation system from departments such as Southern Institute of Water Resources Research, farmers can develop their family economy. SIWRR cooperates with more than 70 universities, institutes, and international organizations in the world, such as the Mekong River Commission, MRC, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, Danish Hydraulic Institute, DHI, Delft University, the Netherlands, UNESCO, IHE, and recently organizations such as the German Center for Space Research, DLR, German Research Center for the Geosciences, GFC, the University of Southampton, and the University of Hull of the United Kingdom, Korean universities and companies.
World Bank, ADB, etc.
I think that the work that we're doing together in terms of both building the capacity and capability of our joint working to understand the dynamics and mechanics of the Delta as it evolves into the future is very worthwhile activity, and one in which the partnership that we have between us is very fruitful.
The project is titled Integrated Climate Resilience and Sustainable Livelihoods, ICRSL, and that project is really looking to transform livelihoods in the Mekong Delta and get the livelihoods more adjusted to the new climate reality of the Mekong. So the investments that the project is making are focused on infrastructure investments that will facilitate these transformations in the livelihood systems that you have in the Mekong Delta. The role that SIWRR has played has been a very critical role. They have been involved in all the feasibility studies that are associated with the project, specifically the feasibility study that was led by MARD, and they've also been involved in feasibility studies for 2 sub-projects at the province level for this project. They have been involved in doing the hydrodynamic modeling associated with the feasibility studies and also designing the hydraulic works associated with the sub-projects. And they've really pulled together a very robust, high-quality feasibility study. Their work shows that they're really good at collaborating closely with the provinces. They understand the local context. They understand the hydrodynamic aspects of the Mekong Delta, and they can really do high-quality work and collaborate very well with international experts and organizations. So that's how we've been engaged with SIWRR in the Mekong.
In order to achieve success in research and application, SIWRR pays great attention to building human resources and facilities. At the beginning, the institute had only 15 researchers. Currently, SIWRR has 180 researchers, including 5 professors, 15 doctors, 45 masters, and more than 100 engineers and bachelors. A few of SIWRR researchers are studying as postgraduates in developed countries. SIWRR has 3 functional departments, 3 research departments, and 8 research centers. SIWRR has 2 campuses. The first campus is in Ho Chi Minh City, and the second one is in Bình Dương Province. The Bình Dương campus has 4 specialized laboratories in hydraulics, construction materials, geotechnical, and environmental chemistry. Another laboratory is under construction, and this will become the key hydrodynamic laboratories for the southern region. The hydraulics and hydrodynamics laboratories of the Institute are capable of studying in-depth complex hydrodynamic issues for irrigation development in the southern provinces of Vietnam. The contributions of SIWRR during 40 years of development in the southern provinces have been recognized by the party and the state and localities with many Nobel awards. Third class Vietnam Independence Medal 2003, second class 2008, first class 2018, and many awards from central government. In conclusion, in its 40 years history, SIWRR activities have always supported agricultural, rural, and irrigation development in the southern provinces. SIWRR is a leading science research institute where studies are undertaken to solve urgent scientific problems related to socio-economic development in the southern provinces. SIWRR is a leading science research institute where studies are undertaken to solve urgent scientific problems related to socio-economic development in the southern provinces. SIWRR bridges the gap between theory and practice to enhance people resources, capacity, technologies, and equipment. As the leader of SIWRR, Director Trần Bảo Hoàng is well aware of the responsibility entrusted by party and the state of Vietnam, the importance of inheriting success from previous generations and to continue to develop in the future.
The Southern Institute of Water Resources Research has been assigned tasks that require in-depth study and propose solutions to minimize the level of damage due to adverse effects of climate change and rising sea level due to the impact of upstream work, then also the internal changes in landslide in the Mekong Delta.
Although the 40 years of achievement of SIWRR are modest, we are very proud because most of our results have practical application, solving real problems, therefore contributing to the strong socio-economic development of the southern provinces. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has highly appreciated these achievements.
Our outstanding achievement is to contribute to the conquering areas such as Đồng Tháp 10, improving acid sulfate soil. Furthermore, the Southern Institute of Water Resources Research also plays a very important role in scientific research to support the development of strategy, planning, and development of the industry. The Institute also participates in disaster prevention activity with outstanding achievements in recent years on forecasting water resources, water quality in the context of upstream development as well as climate changes, serving as a basis for the government and the Ministry of Agriculture to direct agriculture production as well as localities to proactively produce agriculture products. Recently, the government has issued resolution on development of the Delta region. We hope that the Institute staff and scientists continue to promote the 40-year tradition of the Institute, carefully study the points of the view from the resolution 120, the experience of the international as well as lessons of the region to contribute researching to support the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, the local government in the building statutory vision and making construction and investment plan for flood protection.
After 40 years of development, SIWRR will continuously develop and cooperate to achieve more successes as a leading research institute, solving new and urgent scientific problems, and effectively implementing the Ministry Action Plan on restructuring agriculture and the Government Resolution 120 on sustainable development of the Mekong Delta to adapt to climate change.